As the man said, I had enough, I had enough, I had enough. It's time for the madness to start. We back here on the journey, and this is Brother Hatim. I'm coming at you live, FreeStyle Fridays. I'm sitting up here at the Shisha Lounge, sending shouts out to the Shisha for allowing me to come in, and what seems like a lot of times where I talk to myself, nobody really, it don't bother nobody because everybody's up here doing something different. So come on up here and, I'll get you a cup of coffee and we could sit around and rap a taste, because I'm going to be on here for about the next 60 or so minutes with this show, trying to bring it live to you the only way I know how. FreeStyle Fridays, so who knows where we're going to go. I'm joined once again by my brother Mansour, who's going to help me along this journey today. It's all about self-improvement, asking those questions that nobody asks, looking at it from some bizarre angles, because we coming straight from the heart. We're not coming from scripts. We do search on the internet, so if you have comments or questions, feel free to send them in. I get them on direct message on my Spreaker, and you can let me know how you feeling about what we talking about. You can also throw some stuff that you might want me to hit on. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna hit on the economy, because this is hard on everybody right now. My thing is the whole silver piece, and we're gonna get a little bit into that. We're gonna talk about some unemployment. We probably hit some political things, and of course we're gonna try to tie it all back into spiritual development. You know what I'm saying? What we can do to form those relationships, because for me, spirituality is deeper than talking about untouchable substance. For me, spirituality is about developing and maintaining relationships. You know what I'm saying? Relationships with your creator, relationship with your ancestor, relationship with the earth, relationships with all of your relationships with your family and friends. These are the things that will pull us through the hard times. No matter how hard it is for you, you need to pull on your resources. What relationships have you developed? I did a show this morning called Give Yourself Permission to give value, to add value to your life and to others' lives, and to allow others to add value to your life. What value are you adding, since we're getting into economics? But I'll get back to that in a minute. First, before we really get into it, I got to send out my shots. First, I'm sending shots out to Oxy Water. Whether y'all know it or not, it's coming back out. And like I said, I can't wait to get my hands on the first bottle. I might start hogging it again and get me a couple of roomfuls of the shit, so that I can always have something to sip on. I love the Oxy Water. So when it comes back out, you heard it here first on the journey that Oxy Water is coming back. So y'all need to buckle your seatbelts, and let's see where it's going to take us next. I want to send out shots to Orange 82. Orange 82 provides me with the music that I do my intros, my little commercials, and my exit. The I Had Enough thing. It was put together for me by DJ Delford Chadbourne. And, I love that type of music, that electronica stuff, because it's real good for when you late night surfing. I call it surfing music. I'm trying to get my man DJ Delford to go on and hook me up with some tracks so I could do an electronica show. So I call it surfing, because I want to provide some music, a soundtrack through which you could do your surfing. You know what I'm saying? On the internet. Hopefully it ain't all on the porno sites and shit. But, I know some of y'all out there is twisted and demented. And to each his own. To each his own. I'm not judging. Next, I'm going to send out shots to Unidaji Capoeira. My Capoeira family out there. You know what I'm saying? Up under the leadership of Monitor Dentista. We got a workshop coming up here in March, so y'all keep your ears open. You want to see some real capoeira, come out and join us. Location will be given soon. I'm presuming that it's going to be at the Millennium Community School, but I haven't heard anything from Monitor Dentista. I know you out there listening, bro. You better get with me. Let me know what's going on so I can put it on the calendar and start promoting it on my show. I I got tens and tens of listeners. I'm trying to move it up to hundreds and hundreds and thousands. But you know, shit, time will tell. I also want to send shouts out to, once again, the Shisha Lounge where I'm at. Come on out, get you a shisha, you know, get you a stogie, bring a stogie out with you. You know what I'm saying? Come get you some coffee, come get you some tea, get you some pop, get you some water, and sit around and just enjoy the vibe. You got people surfing the internet, you know, you got people talking about all types of things. The shisha is dear in the revolution. This is where free thinkers come at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Coffee, tobacco, and revolution has always mixed. So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's still going on, you know. Not last, but you know, I want to send out shots to La Placita in New Mexico doing their thing, you know. I want to send shots out to Barrios Unidos. I want to send shots out to The Gathering. And last but not least, I want to send shots out to my love, the Simba Nation. Now, before I get further in the show, I want to say this. We're going to start the fundraising this year for Simba now. You know, far as my show, far as the chapter here in Columbus, I want to make sure that everybody that's listening to me know that if you want to do something for my birthday coming up, you know, I know some of y'all was going to give me cars and diamonds and shit and buy about 100 books a piece and stuff like that. You know, I could dig that. But, you know, if you would donate some money to Simba, you go to my Crowdwise site. You can look up Rescue, Release, and Restore. And you could donate money to Simba so that we could have the most spectacular camp ever. One of the major issues when it comes to working with our young people and working with the older men that come there too, as well as the sisters that come out too, is the finances. We want to knock the finances out early, so every dime counts. You know what I'm saying? If you can't send it, if you can't pay for a whole child to go, which is about $400 to $500. You know what I'm saying? You could pay a percentage for one to go. You know, send a tenth of a kid to Simba. That's about $50. You know what I'm saying? Come up out your pockets, dig down, let them know that it's coming for the chapter that in your area. If you don't have a chapter, you could feel free to donate to the Columbus chapter. You know what I'm saying? So that we could take some kids. I got a goal. I want to hit between 25 and 30 young people going to Simba this year, and I really need your help. For those that don't know, you can look up Simba Nation on YouTube and see some of the work that we're doing, see some of the documentaries. Also, for those that might not want to do that, Simba is basically Simba or Rescue, Release, Restore, which is the umbrella organization, has two organizations, Simba and SIMSA. Simba means Safe in My Brother's Arms. SIMSA means Safe in My Sister's Arms. And basically, it's a camp, or it's a group of people that have formed a camp where young people can go through a rites of passage. They could be introduced to values and cultural concepts, not just African culture, although African culture is centerpiece. They are introduced to different cultural views as well as principles. See, one of the things that a lot of people are lacking nowadays, we want our young people to be different, but we don't give them principles that they could live by. We don't give them principles that they could die by. We don't give this anymore. So Simba is an organization that's working on doing this and instilling the principles so an individual has something to guide their lives. That's not out there right now. We got a bunch of madness out here, and we need to make sure that if we're going to do anything for our youth, we got to make sure that we help guide their lives. You know what I'm saying? We need to give them the tools so that if all adults disappear, they can always grasp the principles that we left them. Because you would not be, maybe for some of y'all might not be surprised, but the most valuable thing that I ever received in my life was somebody investing time and teaching me values and a work ethic that I could live by. Those outlive the material, all the material things that you give a child. You give a child all the material things that you want to give them. But in the end, for them to be able to acquire that material wealth on their own, they're going to need principles to guide them so that they don't sell their soul for pennies. You know what I'm saying? So they don't sell their soul for pennies. So let's go on and start preparing our youth. You know what I'm saying? I just got a hangout. And I got somebody asking me if I'm doing the show. Yes, I'm doing the show, and I'm on live right now. So I'm gonna hit him back in about 5 minutes. But yo, check this out. So one of the things is, my goal is I want to take 30 kids from Columbus. So dig in your pockets. Go to Rescue Release from the Store. I will post up my Crowdwise on my social sites. Right when I go to the commercial for this show, and right when we're gonna come back for the next segment of the show. Also, if you're looking for something to support, there are organizations out there like Simba. You know what I'm saying? Find something that you can donate, or what I like to call spiritually invest in. You know what I'm saying? You're doing that reciprocity investing, where you put your money in knowing that you're going to get something back. You might not get something back materially, but know that you are changing somebody's life when you invest in these type of organizations like Simba and Simsa. So I want you to keep that in your head before, before other people start hitting you up, because I know it's tax time, and some of y'all gonna have some money. Some of y'all gonna be acting like ballers and going to the strip clubs and popping bottles and shit. I know you do only get to do that. Most of y'all only get to do that once a year. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to take one bottle that you gonna pop. I don't want you to pop it. I want you to put it up, and I want you to donate some money to an organization or to a cause. A lot of us, we don't have something bigger than ourselves that we're supporting, and that's some of the issues that's one of the major issues that I'm noticing in people's lives. They don't have something bigger to live for. And for a lot of people, man, simple, we done infected thousands and thousands of people just from the work that we've been doing, and it's totally underground, and we're changing people's lives. So I'm stressing that. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to go to a quick little break, and I'm gonna bring Mansoor on, and we're about to get down into what we're about to talk about. And I'm about to text some of the other people that were supposed to be up here that's texting me while I'm talking right now, and I'm gonna let them know that the show is up and live. Peace. I'll be right back. I'm back. Right now, I'm experimenting with a new setting on my mic. It might sound a little bit low right now, but I'm experimenting with the interview part of the mic. You might be hearing some in the background a little bit more, but me and Mansour, we're going to get on here and we're going to talk. So first off, let me introduce Mr. Mansour. Mansour is a hip-hop artist as well as, as well as a community activist. He has joined me on a few shows before, and if you would, give a listening ear to my little brother as he breaks some stuff down. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna chop it up. We ain't gonna take up too much of your time, but just enough to put some thoughts on your head, or at least make you angry, whichever one. Both of them work. You know what I'm saying? Shit, So, let me lay out the rules. Of course, the only rule I have on this show is that you don't cuss more than me. I'm just. But go ahead, Mansour. Go and hit him up.
Peace, world. Mansour Hotep here, live on the Giami journey. FreeStyle Friday. Tonight we're gonna break into the economy. As you know, may not know, a lot of things going on right now. State of the Union address, $10 minimum wage. Is this good for the people? Is this good for people in poverty? Is this bad for the people in poverty? Does this empower the people? Because that's what I'm all about, power to the people, that ancient mantra. We have, as you know, a majority of the population living under the poverty line. And
hold on, I'm going to switch it back. I ain't want to mess up his thought because I don't like how the levels are. Go ahead.
And as I said, we have many people in this population living under the poverty line. And the question for tonight, my biggest question to you, and I really want you to think about this, does $10 an hour change your economic status for the better? Well, let's break this down. Minimum wage is $7.25. A lot of people make $8, somewhere within that range. Talking about $15,000 a year. If you lucky enough to have two household incomes, okay, you're talking around $30,000 a year. Does this take you off of a check-to-check lifestyle? Does this keep food in your refrigerator? Does this keep lights on? In my experiences, it doesn't. So, to me, $10 an hour is a slap in the face of the people. It does not begin to even try to put together a puzzle to solve the problems of the people. Mainly because, for one, most of us aren't employed anyway. And most of us have problems gaining employment, whether it be criminal records or whether it just be hard times. So we know that most of our people are unemployed. So does raising minimum wage and taking more money out of the pocket of the employer, does that increase your chances of employment? I think not. I think if an employer has more overhead, then he is less likely to want to hire more people. In fact, he is probably more likely to decrease his employees to make up for this overhead that's come out of nowhere. Preach on that.
Well, actually, let me hit it from this angle. Check this out. So, we got these employers that's paying quote unquote minimum wage, which basically means you get to live minimally. And they're making products and they're adding value to the economy. What good is it to have all these minimum wage employees that can't afford to buy the services that they offer? So I could come back with the question for you. If they don't raise the minimum wage, if they don't pay people more money, then who's going to buy the products? You know what I'm saying? Because now, I'm kind of, I don't know exactly where I stand on this point. So, but I got to think of it from both points because, You know, the whole piece about business is trying to lessen the expense, but you know, it's almost like we're racing towards the bottom. Who could get paid the less? You know what I'm saying? Who could pay the less so that they can make more stuff that people can't afford to buy? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a race to the bottom. And usually when people are racing for the bottom, when people are racing for minimal things, that's usually what they're going to produce. The worst, the low things, you know what I'm saying? So now, on dealing with employment, now unemployment in the African American community, I'm understanding that unemployment is 13% or maybe higher. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, we got this whole argument about increasing the minimum wage, and they already laying off people and firing people for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Now, so who they gonna hire to do the work? You know what I'm saying? And then here's another question for you, Mansour. As far as the training programs, what type of jobs are we equipping these people to work on? Will these jobs be around in the next 5 years? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They got robots that could do everything that minimum wage workers can do. You want to work at a burger place? They got a motherfucker robot that is a little bit more efficient than you, and he clean up and he don't complain, and you could program a smile on his face. You want to deliver shit? No. Amazon.com got a drone that'll drop shit off. You want to go into manufacturing? Oh, no. We have 3D printers. You know what I'm saying? Hell, in a minute, ain't going to be no room for none of you niggas, excuse my language, for none of y'all in the military, because now they're coming up with robots that run as fast as cheetahs and can shoot a lot straighter than you, and then on top of that, they don't get wounded. And if they do get hurt, all you got to do is send a drone in to go in and drop the repair part, and the one motherfucker that they got with a platoon of these robots, they'll replace the parts. So one, is the economy changing to a point where we are eliminating work? And if we eliminate work, what the fuck good is the minimum wage? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If there's no jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where we're heading. And I don't think a lot of people really want to deal with this fact. You know what I'm saying? We want to scream about the job. We want to scream about the employments. But the jobs we have, a lot of people may not be, even for the schoolroom, even for the classroom teacher. Let me say this to you. One of the things I'm noticing about education, if you go to the internet and look up Khan Academy, right now, a little motherfucker can sit at home and really educate himself. As a matter of fact, all I got to do is distribute iPads. I have a school of 1,000 kids, and each 100 kids got 1 to 2 teachers that I could pay to just manage them on the internet. So now all the teachers unemployed. So the McDonald's workers unemployed, delivery men unemployed, manufacturers unemployed, teachers unemployed. Hell, where the middle class go? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we the questions that we asking, they trying to raise the minimum wage, but the minimum wage for who? And then on top of that, I already gave y'all my discussion about this whole shit about inflation. Inflation, as far as Brother Hatim is concerned, does not exist. I'm smoking on a pack of cigarettes that has been 35 cents for the last 45 years. This pack of cigarettes that I'm smoking right now has been 35 cents. Gas has been 35 cents. And I can prove it. When I go to the silver store and I buy my silver, yep, I'm buying silver. I'm going to get back to that in a second. And I go and buy my damn silver. I pay $6 for 35 cents worth of silver. Or 35 cents back in the 70s. And to answer your question, I could live good on $15,000 40 years ago. 40 years ago.
I just read a stat that said, for the most known definition of inflation. I know you got some math on the difference, but they said in 1961, as far as today goes, minimum wage was $11 if you balanced it out to today. In 1961, minimum wage was equivalent to $11.
I disagree. I think it was higher. If we do the math, it was higher, because I want you to think about this. Back in 1961, I could take $1. I could go to the store, buy a gallon of milk. I could put a gallon of gas in my car, and I could buy a pack of cigarettes.
That's a lot covered on a dollar, brother.
That's a lot on a dollar. So now we turn that into today's dollars. We're looking at about $7.
Yes.
About $7,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So if in 1961 I could buy $7 worth of product on that $1 back in 1970, that means that the dollar has fallen 7 times. So if you multiply the minimum wage, far as from 1970 up to now, about you say 1961, I say around 1968, it was about $1.68. So we multiply $1.68 times 7, we got what? $1.68, 7 times, boom, 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 boom. We got somewhere, well, damn, you right, about $11. All right, I shut my mouth. God damn it. I thought it was higher than that. My fault. Yo, it's $11, so I was 76 cents off. That 76 cents make a big difference.
Yes, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does. And that's the problem. Like you said, we're not digging deep on these issues. You know, we're so focused on the face value. You know, $10 an hour. Oh yeah, you know that sounds great. That sounds great. But if you're in San Francisco, that's not so great. If you're in New York, that's not so great.
Shit, if you're in Ohio, that's not great.
Even in Ohio, even right here in Columbus, Ohio. You know, like I said, you know, 32 minimum wage incomes, around $30,000 a year, is not. You're still in a check-to-check lifestyle. You're still not in a position where you can save anything, and if you're not saving anything, you know, your economics is dead. You know, so we go ahead.
Remember, the American economic system, what we call capitalism, is not designed for people to save money. It never was designed for people to save money. It's designed for people to go in debt. Our government run on debt, and each individual need to run on debt. We always borrow from the future in capitalism. I'm not saying get rid of capitalism, but we got to understand the facts of it. Capitalism does not work if there is no debt. You always got to pull from the future in order to live in the present. That is the way it's set up, and that's the way they want to keep it. Because as long as you're pulling from the future, you're always going to be broke at some point in time. You might live high on the hog, like some of y'all are going to get your checks. You know, like I said, you know, going to get that yearly check that's going to be late this year. I want y'all to understand that shit going to be late. Government ain't got no money, because they borrow money to give you your tax refund. Now check this out. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like a motherfucker taking some money from you, right? They take money from you every month. Think about the hustle. They take money from you every check you get. And then they got to go get a loan to send you the money that they done took that they know was too much. What kind of shit is that? Then I got a question for y'all. You know, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. To hell with both of them, but I'm going to say this. How in the fuck can somebody pay $10 in taxes and get an $8,000 refund check? How the fuck you going to find? I mean, where's the logic in that shit? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because look at the system we got. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of benefits in it, but the benefits are so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give $8,000 to somebody that's going to go out and buy foolishness. But it keeps the economy going. Why? Because I go deeper in debt the more money I got, because I don't know how to handle the money I have. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No. You good. That's right on. That's right on. Again, man, we got to look deeper into these things. You know, we got to stop it with the face value foolishness. You know, and it's tough, because you know, when you look at it from both sides, you look at it from one side, look at it from the side of the people. If you were going to give me a raise increase, well, you need to balance me out with inflation. So that would probably be about $25 an hour. But on the flip side of that, well, if the companies is clearing that much, they got to make up all that overhead. Well, they gonna go under, and they ain't gonna be able to hire nobody, or they can only hire a certain few, and that causes a problem. So we're stuck.
Well, now one of the things we got to look at is the profit margin that some of these companies is trying to attain. You know what I'm saying? Because I want y'all to think about this as well. America, you constantly hear Republicans and Democrats and economists talking about growth. I want you to name one thing in nature. See, because nature is the best model for everything as far as I'm concerned. Name one thing in nature that consistently and constantly grow outside of the universe. Nothing grows forever. We're basing our economy on something that has to crash, because you can't consistently and constantly grow. Because when you spread out like that and you constantly, like for example, having 3 wars at one motherfucking time. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How you support some shit? How you support something like that? Trees even stopped growing. You know what I'm saying? They got trees in California that are big as some of the tallest buildings we've got, and even them motherfuckers stopped growing. Even the Himalayan mountains stopped growing at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn how to be able to use what we have to continue on. And then I'm going to say this about the job situation. My people, those of you on the journey, this is your number one assignment. Stop looking for a job. Stop looking for a job and start making jobs. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the basics of every economic system, whatever it is, it's all about what value you can add. You know what I'm saying? When you go out and you hunt, if we went back to a hunter-gathering society, if you wanted to trade with somebody, you would have to get something and add some value to it so that you can trade that product. Whether you went out and caught a deer, if you just brought the deer back, nobody, you know, most people be like, man, I don't want the whole damn deer. I just want a deer steak. You add value to it by your skills. Find what you love, do that shit on the side until you are able to make it something that can sustain you and at least 3 others. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about exorbitant amount of money, because when you start a business, one of the major issues is we all think that we're going to get in business and become a Jay-Z. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We all want to be ballers. No, sometimes we just need to learn how to live. You know what I'm saying? And it don't take millions of dollars to live. It don't take you having big chains. It don't take you having rims on your car. It don't take you having the biggest house. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Ghana, one of the things that I always talk about is in the early morning when I used to get up just to walk around and check the people out, I would see people coming outside of basically mud huts and sweeping the goddamn dirt in front of their house. And I never understood why they were sweeping the dirt in front of their house until somebody looked at me and said, because it's theirs. They own it and they happy. You know, with the little bit they have. In America, most of us here, even those of us in poverty, and a lot of y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this, but outside of America, the other 85% of this planet, let's even say the other 95% of this planet, we are wealthy. But we're greedy. And because we're greedy, that's where the problem comes. We want to take shit without adding value and putting it back in the economy. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'm just taking it in. Right on. But what, like you just said though, they own it. It's theirs. You know, we starting with nothing. We're ending with nothing. Our babies ain't having nothing. We're not passing nothing on. You know, this economy, like you said, capitalism is built from debt, and we're stuck. We're stuck trying to find our way out of this mess, you know. And one thing I gotta touch on, you know, when we talk about, you know, job growth, we're gonna raise the minimum wage and all of this, you know. If I was reading a piece, sister was saying that, you know, if the taxes, if they wouldn't have took out one of the tax cuts that they just had, if they would give the people in poverty a tax cut, basically, you know, you got less coming out of your weekly check, your bi-weekly check, you wouldn't even, that would help out more than all the chaos that's going to come from raising the minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? After all these companies decide they can't hire more people, they got to make cuts, they got to let people go. If you just take less from the people who have nothing, from the people who aren't making anything, that would do more than this minimum wage. But even more than that, to me, one of the biggest problems in this economy is the felon population. You know, who are never talked about when we talk about poverty lines and all this. The people who cannot get a job, people who are forced to make their own jobs, which is it's a good thing when you do have your self-sufficiency. But those of us who don't have those resources, you know, those of us who aren't organized, and we, you know, those of us who you know, it's all about who you know, what you know, a little bit of both. Those of us that don't have those connects, and we're out here, you know, forced with the underground economy. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about pulling everybody into even being able to work before we even get to talking about raising the minimum wage. What you think about that? What you think about that?
Well, once again, I say it again. Stop looking for jobs. Start creating jobs. Use your creativity, because think about this. Now, I'm gonna use a model. I work with a brother by the name of Kojo Ababio, and Kojo has this urban farming idea that he's trying to get people to grasp. Now, one of the major expenses that we all have is the shit that we put in our mouth. We all have to eat. Now, what if, because now you could raise chickens within the city limits of Columbus, Ohio. What if we was to start developing this urban farming thing to a point where we were able to sustain certain aspects of the community through the use of urban farms and urban chickens? You know what I'm saying? What if some of us was to go out into the country and started farming? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, let's look at some of the other small things that we need. See, because we're not looking at the basic necessities of life, because we want to jump all the way up to the bling bling. You know what I'm saying? We want to go to major productions. I remember when I was younger, I had a brother, and you know, I mean, good brother, excellent idea. I mean, excellent ideas, but we, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like there's a movie with Johnny Depp where he played a drug dealer, and Blow, yeah, and he was laying in the bed and he was bragging about how much money he made on marijuana. And homeboy that was up in the bunk above him said, "You have the right idea, but you have the wrong dream." You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how to make some real money. We have the right ideas, but we have the wrong vehicle. We have the wrong, you know what I'm saying? We have the wrong things to move. We're not moving enough, because if you could take away some of the basic necessities, because think about this, what is the major things that anybody need in the economy to exist?
Money. Money. You need money.
Wrong. See, money is a tool. See, that's what we don't understand. Money is a tool. That's like saying, all I need is a wrench. No, nigga, you don't need a wrench. You know what I'm saying? The wrench builds the house. You know what I'm saying?
You need the things that
you need food, clothing, and shelter.
Right.
Commodities. You need those. You need that food, clothing, and shelter. When the major expenses we have is rent, because most of us paying rent.
Right.
We got these utility bills, and we need to eat.
Right.
And we need to clothe ourselves. Now, with all this modern technology we have all the means to produce all this stuff for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? As communities, I ain't just talking about black community. I'm talking about community. You know what I'm saying? Because you go to a black neighborhood, you're going to find a few white people sprinkled up in there. You go to some white neighborhoods, you're going to find some black people sprinkled up in there. We need to start learning how to take care of the basics and stop worrying about the tool. We get blindsided because we think that the tool is all we need, but a hammer without nails is almost useless. A wrench without screws is useless. You know what I'm saying? Or nuts and bolts or whatever you use it on. I went to college, so I have to deal with that shit, but y'all understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We focused on getting the goddamn tool, but we don't know what to build. That's why we take the tool and we start building shit wrong. So we make a little bit of money, and the first thing we buy is a fucking car. A car that you can't haul nothing in. You just look good in it. You know what I'm saying? Then you go and get $100,000 worth of accessories for the fucking car. And then you go rent a house, right? That in a so-called good neighborhood where they charge you twice the value of the house. I want you to think about the values that we paying for houses. Our houses really worth that much?
No.
You know what I'm saying? My grandfather bought a house back in the day for about $5,000. That would be about $35,000 today. We paying $150,000 for a 30-year mortgage that we're going to end up paying $285,000 for by the time the shit is said and done. Then you got to continuously pay property taxes on that. We focusing on the tool. We got to focus on what we want to use the tool for, and we got to train our youth to start thinking about what they want to use the tools for, rather than getting them focusing on the tools. We tell our kids to go to college to get a job. What kind of shit is that? We send them, like for example, Ohio State. We'll send a young person to Ohio State and tell them to think about getting a job when they are sitting at the research center of the Midwest. No, go to Ohio State to learn how to create jobs. Our mindsets are wrong. You know what I'm saying? And part of being in poverty is having the wrong mindset. See, because now I'm gonna go to this real quick, because this is my new thing. Economics is a game, and we already starting behind. And we get these leaders that could make anything sound good. You know what I'm saying? And get us focused on the two. So this is the song that I created for it. You ready?
Yep.
It's called The Hokey Pokey. That's the economy. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out. See this? Wait, I'm going to say it like one of our leaders. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out. You put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. And we listen to that rhetoric, and because they're using fancy words with it, we get all caught up in the rapture of listening to the rhythm. We get all caught up, but we're not listening to the logic that they're giving us, and the logic that they're giving us is totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? First off, the hokey pokey. This is why I say the economic game is hokey pokey. You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out. Now, if you don't know the rules of the game, you out the game right when they say you put your right foot in, because we put our right foot in and we keep the shit in there. They pull their foot out. You out the game already because you don't know the rules of the game. We don't know the rules of the game. We haven't studied the first thing about economics, but we supposedly are the number one hustlers. As far as the underground economy, I'm going to say this. We got that shit all fucked up. This is why I'm going to say that. We got it all fucked up because we think that we're being forced into the underground economy. I think we go into the underground economy because it's the easy thing to do. Some of them same brothers that's out there hustling saying they ain't got no choice have not tried anything else. Have you tried to hustle something that your community need other than what your community is hooked on? You weak bastard. Get up, get out, and get something. You know what I'm saying? You're playing a hokey pokey game and you're getting caught all the time. You're getting caught with your foot in. Now, and this is why I say put your right foot in. When they did this real estate bubble, they put their right foot in, and a lot of people in my generation, we put our right foot in not knowing the game that was being played. They pulled their right foot out, instant transfer of wealth. Why? Because my black ass and about 100 million other black people got caught with their foot in the circle. These motherfuckers took their right foot out. They shook it all about. They did the hokey pokey and they turned themselves around. That's what it's all about. We got caught. Know the game. We don't study economics. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying just sit down and just read the economic book, because what we got to do is cross-fertilize our information, cross-fertilize our knowledge, because we got to see what works in nature. Economics is based on nature. Any economics that go outside of nature is not going to work. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Y'all get me on the fucking tirade, man. I'm upset.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Hold on. I got to do a dance. I got my first comment, even though he's sitting right here and shit. I got to keep it real. I got to keep it honest. But Brother Devin says, I'm really enjoying the conversation. I have a question. You were talking about the minimum wage earlier. I want to know what would be a livable wage, because clearly minimum wage is not enough to sustain oneself. I agree. That's why they call that shit minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? Minimum wage is for slaves. What do they give slaves? The minimum. You get the minimum to survive. Period. So as long as your ass is just seeking minimum wage and arguing for minimum wage, welcome to slavery. Slavedom. You know what I'm saying? As long as you shooting for the minimum wage, as long as you and you always gonna seek the minimum wage when you trying to work for somebody else. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, because some of y'all listen to me and be like, Brother Artem said quit my job. No, what I'm saying is, look for what it is you can add value to, because that's what the economy is about. What are you adding value to? Find what it is you love and continue adding value. If it's music, add value to the music that you're doing and put your heart and soul in it. If it's video shooting, do it with your heart and soul. If it's teaching people, do it with your heart and soul. And when you invest yourself in it, what you'll see is the fruits of your investment. All you got to do is to be open. Be open to the different, because every last one of us got a certain style that we do things at. And when we find our style and when we find our gift, we are supposed to shine it, and people will come to you. And you find a way to, in a sense, monetize it, even though money is not the major reason you're doing it, because the best job you could ever have is one that you create and one that you love.
And to pick on the question, it's, and like you said, if you're striving for the minimum, that's what you're gonna get. What these politicians do is play word games. So we would need a maximum wage. That would be a livable wage. Let's start with the words first. Let's turn the words around before we even talk. We can't talk about we want to do more, and the definition of what we're doing is still minimum. We need a maximum wage. We need something that we can, like you said, a livable wage, something we can thrive off of. And to answer the question, like I said earlier, that would probably be about at least $20 an hour at least. But that causes all type of problems.
I want you to think about this, people, because now I'm going to get into another part, and then we're going to take a quick break. He said $20 an hour. I want everybody to get on the internet right now, look up the value of silver. What he said is that you should be getting paid an ounce of silver every hour. Why would this brother say something like that? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's natural. See, deep down inside of us, economy is in us. You are at least worth an ounce of silver an hour. You are at least worth an ounce of silver an hour, at least until the price of silver crash. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's about $20.50 per hour, because I'm tracking it, and I'm telling everybody around me, buy you some silver. Take $6, find you a silver dealer, go there and get you some silver coins. Because what's going to happen is that silver is going to go up in price, and right when it's at the peak price, if the system don't collapse, you trade that shit in and get you some cash so that you can invest in the next thing. Right now, gold is too high. Right now, the stocks aren't doing too good. So what we're looking for is the cycles. See, we done got so disconnected with nature that we don't even look at the cycles no more. We used to live by cycles. Whether we're talking about the cycles of the weather or whatever, we're not looking at that shit no more. So, because we're out of tune and we don't know the rules of the game, everybody else is playing a hokey pokey, we playing tag. Stop playing tag, man. Hokey pokey is what it's all about. Get in the game.
Get in the game. Get in the game. That's the main thing. If we're not even starting to build ideas, you know, it takes more than ideas. It takes work, but you got to start somewhere. Your ideas are your soil, you know, and your action with those ideas. Well, that's your hoe. That's your shovel. We gotta start from the base, from the bottoms, from the bases. If you're not, you know, if you're listening right now and you know, self-sufficiency isn't something that's crossed your mind. If you're sitting like, well, damn, you know, I don't have too many things I'm good at. Just look inside yourself and find those ideas and let those ideas grow. You know, because self-sufficiency is key. Like he said, stop looking for a job just over broke. Just over broke. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're yearning for. And so that's what we're reaping.
Now, you know, I'm not a Bible thumper, but I'm going to say this. In the Bible, they say, ask and ye shall receive. We have stopped asking ourselves those critical questions. That's why a lot of people don't know what they're good at, because they don't ask. The mind works on questions. And when we stop asking those questions, I ain't saying just pray about it. What I'm saying is really do the mirror exercise that I tell you on my show. Give yourself permission. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is it that I am good at? Look yourself deep in the eyes, as spooky as it may be, because some of y'all is messed up in the morning. Your breath will be smelling bad. Get at your the nastiest point of the morning when you first wake up. Ask yourself, why did I choose? And I'm saying that again. Why did I choose to be born in this day and time? See, because I'm one that looks at the future in several different ways. Right now, as humanity, we can move to the highest point of that human. We are at the highest point of human development and materially. Now we need to match it with our spirituality. We need to match it with our minds. We have been born at a pivotal time. And if you in your 60s is not too late, and if you are in your teens is not too early to start asking yourself these questions. Because right now is your time. This is our time. And a lot of us is wasting it by complaining and not asking ourselves the critical questions. What are you good at? Look at yourself and ask, what am I good at? Because if you don't do that, if you don't ask that question, and you keep projecting the question outside yourself with prayers, you are robbing yourself. I ain't saying not to pray. But what I'm saying is pray and then take action steps. After you ask God, ask yourself. I challenge you. Stop being scared of yourself. Stop being scared of your reflection. Stop being scared of your divine purpose, and stop being scared of the reason that you was born, and get off your ass and ask the questions. Because when you start asking questions, the whole world start looking different. The whole economy start looking different. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time for the next group of million and billionaires to come out of. Because right now the world is hungry for ideas. They're hungry for insight. They're hungry for innovation. They're hungry for those individuals that could provide hope at this critical time. I'm not one that want to keep on talking about conspiracies and the end of the world. I'm one that says this: the world is what we make of it. And I got too many kids to be talking this doom shit. That's punkish to me, to give up and to surrender because of some Rothschilds or some other group of conspiracies. My question that I asked when I was in college is, I kept hearing about these conspiracies and I was working on a poem that I never finished. The question I asked in that poem is, where is our conspiracy? If we know with all these facts and all these pictures that all these people was conspiring against our success, motherfucker, where is our conspiracy? You know what I'm saying? Where is it? Because if somebody could hatch a conspiracy to keep us down, why can't we hatch a conspiracy to move us forward, to move us up to where we belong?
I say, he's walking on water right now.
Y'all can't just let me go, man.
Nah, I'm gonna let you breathe. Because you know it's I'm taking it in. You know what I'm saying? You know, you speaking to the people. I'm the people too. You know what I'm saying? I need this message just as much as everybody else. So do your thing. But definitely, we gotta pull from within, bring it out. You know, I'm a prime example of what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Having talents. You know, I'm finding talents within myself and you know, struggling to know exactly what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm listening so hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm dealing with that. But definitely, you know, conspire. Let's conspire. You know what I'm saying? Let's get together. You know what I'm saying? And within ourselves and do this. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
And remember, unity don't mean that we all agree.
Nope.
Unity mean that we are able to work together.
Yeah.
I don't have to even like your ass. You know what I'm saying? The point is that we both can agree that our children's future is the most important, and we have to leave a legacy. Are we going to leave a legacy of slavery, or are we going to leave a legacy of freedom? I understand it was Thomas Jefferson said that freedom, a people cannot be free if they are ignorant. You know, and I want to stress this. Ignorance don't mean dumb. At least from the journey definition. Ignorant means that you ignore. Yes. You ignore the fact. You ignore your power. You ignore your abilities. You ignore what's going on around. You ignore the questions. And you just become an automaton, and you go to work every day like a zombie. And you don't think about your children's future. Don't, you know, I mean, I done heard some shit in my life that just fucked me up. I heard an adult tell somebody that when I die, I don't care, my kids got to pay for me to be buried anyway. Somebody very close to me, and that kind of fucked me up. So that's the legacy you're going to leave. You're going to leave a bill. Motherfucker, please. You know what I'm saying? I'll put you in a burlap sack and throw you in the Ohio River. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because, I don't believe.
Leave the Ohio River alone, man. It's already fucked up enough as it is.
That's Brother D. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to bring Brother D back. We're going to have an extended session tonight because I'm feeling it. And hopefully you're feeling it. And, you know, but I'm going to go and put on something by Orange 82 called Build and Destroy. You done heard this one before. So stay tuned.
backing up water supply. No matter if you work, we're gonna take your ass out first. You ain't gonna be around too long.
Man, I've been seeing everybody.
We back up, having some conversation, doing some networking and stuff. This is Brother Hatim, Giami Journey Extended Session. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to hit me up during the show or after the show. Makes no difference. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm interested in getting people's opinions, getting people's ideas, and making sure everybody is being heard. We was just recently joined by Brother D, the Traveler, and you know, one of my co-hosts from what's the name of that show? The Chosen Days. You know what I'm saying? Where we explored subjects like this and some UFO type shit and all that. You know, because you know, I just like studying. You know, but I just want to read some facts to my guest. I'm joined by Brother Mansour, who might as well be a co-host. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not now, far as my next level of nation building. A lot of people be asking me where I've been in the community and stuff like that. I'm no longer sitting around doing meetings and shit no more. You know, I'm 45. You know, I have a very short time left. More of my life has gone back past me than I possibly got in front of me. So I ain't got time for a lot of bullshit. All my shit is going to be done on shows because my goal is this. I told myself when I was younger and I found out that Marcus Garvey with a fucking old school printing press was able to reach over 3 million motherfuckers. My goal was to reach. I had to reach at least 3 to 5 times more people than he had. So I ain't got time. All my shit is going to be done on show. Be done in the show format because it cuts down the bullshit. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing and I'm adding value to my study groups by broadcasting the study group because I want 100,000 people studying with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm broadcasting a lot of my meetings, the youth meetings. I'm broadcasting them, and when I get video, when we move the video, we doing that. The book readings we do, I'm broadcasting that shit because the whole piece is we got all this information, but there's very few people out there really using the tools that we have to maximize the effect that we can have. Alright? You know, so my thing is I want to impact the community, and I feel that my best way of doing it is what I've been practicing on my whole life. I was born for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Although I was born before the computer and before the laptop and before this mic was even conceived of, I feel that I was placed on this planet to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? To motivate you, to inspire you, to plug you into your spiritual nature, and to get you to start asking questions about reality. Because I'm not one of those that are so spiritual that they are of no worldly good, but I'm not so material that I lose my spirit. I'm in between. You know what I'm saying? I like being able to step in a car and start the motherfucker and not have to worry about it breaking down, especially when I got my kids in there. You know what I'm saying? I like having a nice place to live. I don't want to go back to grass huts and shit. That's not for me. Well, I mean, I could do it by myself, but that's not for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I see where we going. You know what I'm saying? I can't paint a clear picture for you, but I see where we going. Work as we know it is gone. And for all you out there that's holding on to that shit, you better let it go. Those of you that have your retirement accounts, you better look for some different diversity in your investment portfolio because the government is going to eat that shit up because they cannot maintain the value of the dollar. They can't do it. It has to crash. It can't grow. As a matter of fact, it's been dying. You know what I'm saying? So now,
what does that say about the faith of people? Because the dollar right now in its current state has its value because people have faith in it. Because there's nothing backing it.
Nothing at all. That's why they call it fiat currency, and nobody in this room want to drive a fucking fiat car. When they had fiats out, motherfuckers was running.
No, but check it. They got the commercials, right? Where they got the little Fiat coming out the water. They got the little.
Is that a Fiat?
Yeah, it's a Fiat.
Oh, it's coming out the water. It's coming from up underground. Look at that. The little fake car. You know what I'm saying? You know, listen. Fiat means fake because I say so. Basically, with the Fiat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all be trying to have Fiat power of your woman because I say so.
Then on top of that, they got a scorpion up in the commercial. And what does the scorpion represent?
A motherfucker that come back and sting you, the backbiter. You backbiting bastard. Backbite you and take all your because look, we confuse. I mean, like I said, we confusing the two. So we need to really ask the questions and get out there and do what we was born to do. Get out there and do what you was born to do. That's the chief message behind the journey. Because while you are trying to get to where you think you want to be on the journey, you're gonna learn so much that it's gonna catapult you beyond what you were shooting for in the first place. You might start off in music, or you might start off in sports, or you might start off in science and end up in a totally different field with a knowledge set that's going to catapult you above and beyond everybody else. Dude, oh man, listen. All right, let's talk about this wealth gap. I just want to share this with y'all. All right. First off, jobs in the African American community is like, unemployment is like at 13%, and we got a black president. Damn. All right, now on to this.
Not according to your boy out of out of Harlem.
Don't be starting no shit.
You leave Pastor Manning alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. Leave him where he at. All right. Growing inequality. I want y'all to understand this. The top percent. I want y'all to think about the top 10% control 73.1% of the wealth. Now, let me break this down for my constituency here. You know what I'm saying? Wealth is different from being rich. Rich is 1 to 3 generations. Wealth is generations. You know what I'm saying? So now, 73.1%, whether you white, black, Asian, purple, green, or gray. You know, if you want little gray aliens and shit. 73.1% of the wealth in the United States economy is controlled by the top 10%. Now, out of that top 10%, the 1% of that controls 34.6%. So that leaves a meager, 27% for the rest of us? Now, this is what bothers me about America and the arrogance in this motherfucking country. I have a group of rich motherfuckers in this country that are so greedy that they will eliminate the middle class. I don't understand that. Because it's the middle, because think about it, it's the middle that separates the two extremes. It's the middle class, which, by the way, all right, let me do my statistics first before I get into that. I got what I call the super wealthy. They control 34.6%. The wealthy control 27.3%. That's the top 4%. The rich control 11.2%. That's the top 10%. Now let's do the rest of the ghetto rich. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are out there buying $100,000 jewelry. I mean, that shit just, you go out and buy $100,000 worth. I just don't understand that. And then you put your name on it. Now, somebody please explain the logic in going out and buying a piece of jewelry and you pay $100,000. You got $50,000 worth of jewelry, and you pay the person that make the jewelry another $50,000, so that when you try to sell the shit, you gonna get less than half of what you paid for it, and you put your name on the shit. That's the ghetto rich. You motherfuckers that don't know, you know what I'm saying, that think they wealthy, They just ghetto rich. It's a big difference. Then we have what they call the upper middle class. They control 10.9%. These are the people that supposedly are doing good, and they are shrinking. And then we have the middle class, the broke motherfuckers. That's just how you know. They only got 4%, and then the bottom. You know what I'm saying? They control like 0.4, some shit like that. I mean, you do the math, something like, I mean, it's a small number. We got this giant wealth gap, and we sitting up here talking about minimum wage. You could get paid minimum wage 24 hours a day for the rest of your life and still be broke. Fuck the minimum wage. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Fuck redistribution. Fuck all that. We moving into a new economy, y'all. We moving into a whole new world. Let's get out there and get it. Network with me, I network with you. I do what I do good, you do what you do good. We build us a company and we take this motherfucker over. You know what I'm saying? We ride it till it can't be rode no more. We spread the wealth, we pay people fairly, and we stop doing some of this dumb shit.
Because if you look at some of these principalities or municipalities, I mean, that have kind of gone away from even using the currency and have gone back to bartering and trading. And so some of these smaller towns and whatnot, just because the economy has hurt them so that they can't operate within that system, so they have to go back to this barter and trade system. You know, everybody has skills that they can contribute, so you know, it only makes sense.
I want to touch on the virtual currency that's coming. Y'all heard about the virtual currency?
Shit, it's already here. As far as I'm concerned, the money that I have in my bank account is not. It's digital.
Yes.
It's not that. Yes. When I get paid, it's a direct deposit. It's no exchange, no check being put in there. They just say, boom, this is what the money. That's how much money's in there.
Right.
And so now this brings me to one of my favorite movies. Anybody remember the plot of Fight Club? You know what I'm saying? The whole plan was for the motherfuckers to go and bomb some shit and everybody start back at zero. So you can have your little bit of money in your check account and a motherfucker come up with a super virus and eat up all your shit. You know, because they're going to get the broke motherfuckers first. You know that, right? You do know that, right? You know, so I just, you know, it's going to work its way up the chain. It ain't going to never start at the bottom. It's going to work its way up the chain. As far as I'm concerned, fuck virtual currency. I'm getting dimes before 1964, quarters before 1964, dollars before 19. I'm getting all the silver that you know. If you see me and my pockets look like they got the mumps, it's not because I got dollars in them motherfuckers. I got silver bars in them bastards. You know what I'm saying? And I'm waiting for gold to come down to the real value. I'm getting them bars. You goddamn right. You call me the Black Pirate. I'm gonna bury them motherfuckers all over the city. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all laughing. I'm serious. Bullets for you thieving motherfuckers and silver. That's what you know. And plus, you know, I got an affection for silver because silver is my family's sacred metal and shit. I've always loved silver. If you go back and you look at my funny looking high school pictures, I was draped in silver back in 1987. I've been on silver for a long time. Shit. But that whole wealth disparity thing, you know. But yo, hey, the virtual currency, ride it while you can, but always take your money and invest in something real. You know what I'm saying? Something that can be traded, something that has maintained value. I ain't saying get all silver, all gold, all platinum, but what I'm saying is diversify your investments. Alright? So, but now the next question is, how do we change this shit? You know what I'm saying? How do we change it? Anybody got any ideas? Because, you know, I'm about to wrap this show up. We had 76 some odd minutes, and I know some of my listeners is getting tired of me. And, Mansour, when you with me, you see Brother Devin,
Yeah.
He ease up on the mic and he blasts me out.
Right.
You got to know when to stop me because if you let me go, I could do this shit.
We call him the Grand Pontificator. That's what we call him.
I could put your left foot in, put your left foot out, put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. See, I could make anything sound. You do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around.
Over tour.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
How do we change it? How do we change it?
How do we change it?
How do we change it? See, you talking to the wrong one, man. I'm a burn the system down type of dude, man. Burn the whole damn system down. You can't.
Now this is the issue. If we burn it down, realize, since everybody's so close to the mic, I'm changing the setting, y'all. Y'all let me. We got to be smart in how we do it.
Well, I ain't saying burn. But we gotta uproot this tree because it's a wrap for this tree. This tree's a wrap. Apples is dying. You know what I'm saying? They as soon as they fruit, they die. You know what I'm saying? We gotta uproot this tree and we gotta plant another one. Now I don't know exactly how to do. What's the best way about going about doing that? But I know that this thing here, this system here, like you said, capitalism it thrives off debt. So it thrives off me being in a position where where the odds are very much against me to lose. So how can I have faith? How can I have faith in something that's dying?
I'm gonna say this: it's not stacked against you so that you can lose. They keep us with a losing mind state. They keep us in a slave. Like when I was talking to you about Vedic math, how in Vedic math, when they doing addition and subtraction, they start from the left-hand side and move towards the right.
Right.
They teach their kids how to work smart, not hard.
Right.
We teach our kids to work from the right-hand side in math and work their way up. We start with the pennies and work up towards the dollars. We need to change our mindset.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when we change our mindset, we get a different view of it, and we could come up with more creative ways to get involved in what's going on and benefit all those around us. Like for example, I have one method out because there's going to be several methods, but I'm sticking with quote y'all on this piece. This whole urban farming thing, far as on a local basis, because like I said before, when you look at a major issue, if there was to shut down all the stores, how would poor communities survive? They shut down Walmarts. How will we survive?
They won't. I mean, and it's already, if you're looking at the central city communities, they're already what they call food deserts.
They're what?
They're food deserts.
Food deserts.
Because there are no fresh fruits and vegetables that are available readily. You know, even to get to the Walmart, somebody even in my neighborhood, they're going to have to drive between 3 and 4 miles to get to the Walmart, or a couple miles to get to the Kroger or what have you.
Now, with New Harvest, what Kojo is doing, like I said earlier, 1675 Arlington Avenue, get a brother support. You know what I'm saying? Go buy a fish bowl, check out, get some of the vegetables and stuff. What he's trying to do and what other people like him is trying to do, they're trying to set up decentralized food markets where we have local farmers that are bringing food that can be consumed by the community. Now, you're not going to be able to walk in one of these markets and get out of season food. First off, we got to change our mind states. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying everybody go back to living on the farm, but what I'm saying is we need to start looking for local solutions for this worldwide problem. See, because as long as we're trying to fight them on the level they are, we're never going to win. I don't even know who they are. I don't even give a fuck. But as long as you try to fight them on that level, you're never going to win, because I'm going to tell you like this, because even the they that we're talking about started on a small level. And they tried to centralize everything. We have to work on decentralizing stuff. We gotta get people that know how to make the clothes that we like. We gotta get people that know how to grow the food that we like and grow the food that we need. And we got to start supporting those businesses. We gotta support those businesses that cook. Because think about it, you build a nation on its stomach, but we got a hungry ass nation.
Listen, but think about it too. We have to capture the imaginations of those who are in our community, because right now their imaginations are being captured by somebody else, so that's why they're going in that direction. And so to answer the question of how we going to change it, the change starts with us and how we start to imagine things again. Because even with this whole urban farming piece in the community gardens, getting with that concept of seed, time, and harvest. We have things that is just so instant. They come to us so quickly right now, and say that we've lost that connection with how nature actually operates and works.
Right. But even before that, like you said, we got to change the imagination. Well, some people don't even want no fresh fruits and vegetables. That's not even what's on their mind when it's eat time. We so stuck on throw it in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? So changing the minds is that would be the biggest.
Well, we don't start with changing the minds, because this is the piece that I'm on. This is what I figured out with movement. You build it, and they will come. And if they don't come, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's enough people eating fresh fruits and vegetables. There's enough people in each city. There's a collective of people that might have different consciousness, that might have different beliefs, but they're trying to do it. And there's a big enough group of individuals in each city to support what's going on locally. You know what I'm saying? We can't be the only motherfuckers in Columbus talking about this shit. We're not the only motherfuckers struggling with jobs or struggling with low pay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They all over the place.
So the question is, how do we link those individuals so that you can create a critical mass that is needed to start this metaphorical snowball rolling?
All right, now that brings us back to what we on right now, the leveler of the playing field, the internet. Every broke motherfucker got a smartphone. Everybody got phones now. We start using Facebook. We start using Twitter. We start using Google and Google Plus. We start using these to put out the messages that we want, rather than the shit that's out there now. If I hear about another breakup or another motherfucker crying about a love affair, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could do that too. But the point that I'm saying is we're not using leverage properly. You know what I'm saying? We got a major tool, but we're using it for some of the wrong things. Listen, if you need therapy, give me a call. I could help you. I might be able to plug you in with somebody. Facebook is not necessarily a therapeutic tool, because you ain't gonna get nothing but either a motherfucker trying to fuck you or somebody trying to rob you when you put all your business out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's start using it and pumping out the information that we want, so that you could start sparking people to start thinking. Because if to capture their imagination, we got to use, I think it's, you got to give people what they want. You got to give people what they want, or at least fool them into thinking that they want what you got. You know what I'm saying? You ain't ever went to the store to buy something that you really wanted, that you thought you wanted, that you thought you wanted your whole life, and you go buy it and you spend that money and you come home and you think about it and say, this is some bullshit. You ain't never buy a gadget and be like, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they could fool us to go out and buy some shit that we think that in 3 weeks we gonna have rock solid abs and shit like that, they can sell fresh fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? My elder Nomo, rest in peace, strove to do all the way up until he died, strove to do a fresh fruit and vegetable food co-op every other week. You know what I'm saying? But we never linked up majorly with any local growers to provide the food for the food co-op, because we talk about economics, But in our community, we don't allow our dollars to sit in our community. When you buy from local businesses, you allow your dollar to circulate in your community. And as the dollar circulates, it creates other values and gives money within the community that could be invested to hire your ass. But as long as you give me your money to Walmart's, you know what I'm saying, and they send it over there to pay the child labor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, because when you look at China, they got a fucking slave system. As a matter of fact, the motherfuckers in America are looking at the system in China and admire that shit. I want you to think about this. We got the #1 country in the world to talk about democracy and bringing freedom to the world, and we're the #1 customer of the biggest slave economy in this motherfucking world.
And here's the irony of the whole piece, is that while China was on the sidelines not being able to participate with the United Nations, they were busy investing in silver for over 30 years.
Man, it's a fucking shame, man. And buying up the treasury. So now they bought up all these bonds. And they got like trillions of dollars of United States debt.
Even funnier, did you see the piece where they talk about changing the name to Great Walmart?
Great Walmart. Yeah, you know it's Walmart's in China. I still don't understand the logic of that, because ain't a lot of people over there. I mean, it's a few people with money over, but a lot of people are still living subsistent lifestyles. And see, but we laugh at that shit. But the fact of the matter is, when you really look at the minimum wage, what type of lifestyle are you living? You just got more access to toys. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you trinkets. You know what I'm saying? One of my books, I tell a story, and one of the ladies in the book say this to her father. Her father says, "I think that y'all are more interested in just acquiring my wealth rather than getting the wisdom and the knowledge that help produce my wealth." And my character, one of my lead characters, say, "Father, we do not just want your wealth. We don't even want your wealth. Because taking your wealth and leaving the knowledge and wisdom that built the wealth is equivalent to selling the diamond mine for a handful of rubies." Or some shit like that. I can't remember. But it's my story, so I can change the shit whenever I want to. But the point is, we're selling our diamond mines for a handful of diamonds. They give us a handful of diamonds, we give them a fucking diamond mine. Let me give you some of the other mines in our community. We got the we frown on this, but we got the best athletes in the world in our community. We got the best entertainers in the world in our community. And we got a vehicle where we could create sports that we play ourselves, and we could broadcast that shit over the internet. We could produce our own shows and sell our own music over the motherfucking internet. And then we still got niggas running around here talking about, "I'm trying to get a deal. I'm trying to say," fuck that. Sell your shit. Get that money and create a job. You know what I'm saying? You got kids coming up talking about you want to sign. You want to. I'm looking for a new master. Looking for a new master. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. If you got the talent, you got the skill, all you got to do is get the exposure. Find somebody that can figure out how to get the exposure. We're not training our kids in the way they need to be trained. If your child is a good athlete and they love sports, encourage them to do sports. But find one of those kids that in your son's school. Matter of fact, this is the best story right here, and I'm done. I call it one of my all-time favorite MAC movies. MAC was an organization that I started on campus, Man Acquiring Courage and Knowledge. We had certain movies that individuals had to watch. One of the major MAC movies was Black Caesar. In Black Caesar, the whole movie is based on a boy who was a neighborhood tough guy who was working for the police. No, he was working for the mob. He goes to a police chief to pay the police chief off. The police chief beat him up and take his money. I don't believe this. I got a call coming in on my show. I'm on the show. Well, anyway, now listen to this. The boy get his leg broke, but he got a crew, and they about to send him to jail. He laying in the hospital, and his boys come to say goodbye. He got one boy that come in. He tells him, he says, look, I want you to learn about religion. And the other boy, who was bullied by everybody, that was the smart guy, he brought him in. He told him, he said, look, I'm going to make sure nobody picks with you. I want you to learn everything you can about business, because when I come out of jail, we're going to make a lot of money. I need you to learn how to hide the money. And he go to jail. He come back an adult. When he comes back, he got his boy in the church, and he got his boy in business, and he takes over Harlem. Now, you know, you be like, that's a fantasy, but we're not. That's a usable plot. You know what I'm saying? We got those nerd kids in school that we allowing to be bullied rather than getting them, protecting them, and telling them get all the knowledge you can. We got those tough kids in school, and we tell them, no, don't be tough. No, don't hit nobody. In America, give me a fucking break. America is the most aggressive place. This country was built on taking motherfucking shit, killing motherfuckers, and we still bomb them up. They make us mad over our morning breakfast, and we will demand that them motherfuckers be bombed. You fucking with my orange juice crop. You bomb their ass. Bomb them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make is we need to start thinking in a way that's similar to how that boy was thinking. I'm going to get my team, and I'm going to give people where they put people where they best fit. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to harness all those skills to get what we want in this world. I like that plan. Shit.
We got so far away, you know, like you said, with the cycles and with the nature, nobody wants to play their part. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, but it's all nature. You know what I'm saying? The bee need the flower. They all need the, you know, they all need the air. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get back to playing our part. You know what I'm saying?
And the issue is, for me, like I said, we build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, it would take nothing but about 10 people to turn this whole shit around. 10 serious people willing to work, because those 10 people will attract more. But you got to be serious. And you can't be about the bullshit. Bruh, we can't be about just chasing the women. Women, you can't just be about getting a father for your baby or just getting a man. It got to be deeper than that. Because we working for selfish, limited vision. When we think about our ancestors thought in generations. Native Americans had a saying, I am responsible for 7 generations from here. And if we could really take that mindset and place it in where we are now, rather than thinking about now, we take just a quarter of that energy and think about what my children gonna have. We don't even have to say the future. We just say, I'm trying to put a little bit of work, a little bit away for my children. I'm doing some work for my children. I'm building for my children. The main reason I do the work that I do is because I had a nightmare one night that somebody that I could have helped and didn't help grew up and murdered one of my sons. So I committed myself to start working with as many people as I could, because I never knew because I never saw the face of the individual that murdered my son. But the key piece for me was every last one of these individuals could be an ally to one of my children or be a detriment to my children. So I got to make sure that everybody I run into, I touch in a way where they'll be able to look at one of my seeds or be around one of mine and be like, not if they can't recognize me in them, they could recognize the vibe. You remind me of somebody, so I'm not going to pull the trigger.
So what that says to me, in answer to the question that you had asked about how do we change this, it's about the relationships that we develop and that we cultivate. It's the relationships that we invest in. It's those young people that we invest in. It's those women that we invest in. It's those other men that we deal with that we invest in and establish relationships that are wholesome, that are producing the fruit that is needed in order to get what it is that we're looking for.
Yeah, that's what spirituality is. It's not this ghost thing. We get so deep. Some of us get so fucking deep that it just I can't even talk to people no more. I keep my ass at home and let my wife yell at me. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just so fucking deep. It just don't make no motherfucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Changing your diet is not enough. Changing your spiritual system is not enough. You know what I'm saying? Change, you know what I'm saying? Change you, motherfucker. Just change you. You know what I'm saying? And understand that spirituality is not something in the future. Spirituality is not when you die. Spirituality is about maintaining and cultivating the relationships in your life now. Because we thrive on networks. Human beings are social creatures. So the spirituality, if it's not building social networks, is not worth a damn. If you the only motherfucker that understand what you're talking about, you the only motherfucker that feel what you're talking about, within a 10-mile radius, nigga, you doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all get so deep into history. History becomes your everything. You so caught up in the history you can't fuck with now, and you definitely can't fuck with the future because you're stuck in the past. Motherfuckers, Kemet is not coming. Kemet is not coming back.
You just caught in that one aspect of history. Because if you look at history, history really comes in 3 phases. It's the past, present, and future.
Well, the motherfuckers I'm talking about ain't looking at it like that. They looking at the past and they stuck in the past. I got motherfuckers trying to learn how to speak ancient Egyptian. Who the fuck you gonna talk to? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ancient Kemites wasn't trying to speak somebody else's language. They took what they had and they developed from there. You know what I'm saying? We came to this planet at this time for a certain reason. Get the knowledge that you need and stop trying to be out deep each other and stop trying to impress people so that you could just fuck them or get some money out their pocket and affect some change. If you're doing all this stuff, see, I remember back in the Afrocentric movement, because I'm that old, when Afrocentrism was the biggest thing, I stopped going to the conferences because the question that came to me one time was, we got all these brilliant scholars, but they can't work together long enough to form no fucking university. Didn't even put together a correspondence course. Nigga, mail me this shit. If y'all can't get on, mail me your shit. You know what I'm saying? No, we looking for jobs at universities, and we motivating our kids to go get degrees. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against education, but I'm saying that everything we need to inspire our children to do has to have some future focus beyond their personal sustaining, because this is the issue. The wealth gap is getting so big now that eventually, I believe that if it keeps going, motherfuckers is going to definitely, they was already taking shit from people. You're going to have motherfuckers rolling up on you trying to take shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because if mine can't eat, nigga, yours can't eat. So we need to start developing those relationships so that I got people that people you could call to really come and support you when you really need it. And I ain't just talking about fighting and dying. I'm talking about living and prospering. You know what I'm saying?
Community. It's all back to community, man. It's all back to community.
Well, I'm gonna say this: we got to maintain our individual. We got to find a way to do the paradox, because like I said, a lot of people take that unity shit and think that everybody got to dress alike, everybody got to act alike. Like right now, all of us got locks, but we got 3 different dressing modes. We got the dashiki, we got the sportswear, and we got the nigga that just got off of work and didn't have time to change shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're able to sit around this table and talk. Why? You know why? Because this is what's important about spirituality. This is why I say that a lot of people, especially my people, are closet atheists. The reason that we can get along so well right now is because we believe that people are watching us. It might only be one motherfucker out there listening to it, but if we could get along on this mic because that one person is out there listening to us. I say that we're closet atheists because most of us act like there is nothing out there watching everything that we do. Listen, if you don't believe in God, that's cool. But understand that your children are watching. And if your ass is coming home complaining about your job and you hate it, what makes you think they want to go out there and get that shit?
That's my childhood right there.
Matter of fact, going to school.
Right.
School is their current job. I said, my parents don't like their job, so why am I even going to school to get what they talking about they don't like?
Get what it, you know what I'm saying? You want your child to go to school to move beyond you, but you don't like your shit. That's real motivating. You know what I'm saying? That's like a motivational speaker coming into the room. You pay him $500. He's going to change your life. He come in. He say, you ain't shit. You ain't going to never be shit. Your mama wasn't shit. You ain't going to be shit. Thank you for the $500. Everybody kiss my ass. I'm gone. That's the equivalent. You know what I'm saying? We need to be real about this shit. If our children don't see us enjoying it, we need to make this struggle look so good. Not just with the Versace and going on. We need to make the struggle look so good that motherfuckers want to embark on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like I said in Giame, I got the rank bracelets. I got all that shit. Why? The necklaces and shit. So people can look at your shit and be like, wow, you achieved that level? Damn, how can I get that shit? We got to have those little conversation pieces. Damn, that's a good looking salad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's some big ass kale that you eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Me and my people, we grew this. You know what I'm saying? I know the farmers that grew this shit. You want some? Yeah. Here, try some. Look, we having a market next week. Come over and get some. You know what I'm saying? We do a co-op every 2 weeks. Why don't you come and support it? You know what I'm saying? It's just little simple shit. And it don't have to be big. All it has to do is be able to sustain itself and pay for itself and make sure that everybody that's involved feel good because they doing something bigger than themselves. But they don't lose themselves so much in it that they can't express their individual creativity. We don't need robots. We don't need zombies because that is what the current system creates. We need creative individuals. We need somebody that can embrace unity but maintain their personal spark from God or the creator or whatever you believe in. Or if you're atheist, the personal, original fart that started the universe.
One point. We just gotta start over. We gotta reset, and we gotta reset ourselves in our minds and in our modes. You know, which is a struggle because the subconscious is it's your biggest opponent. You know what I'm saying? And we, you know, like, I'm a testament to growing up watching my parents coming home beat down 2 jobs, and I said it to myself. I said, I don't want to do that. I remember saying it. I don't want to do that.
I said it one time and got the shit slapped out of me. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I actually said that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I up to this day, I have always strove to work someplace I like it. When I don't like it no more, I leave. You know what I'm saying? Broke, whatever. I mean, right now, see, because the whole family thing kind of changed it, but I believe. See, I got more belief in myself than I do in the currency, the money. I got more belief in me. I believe that with my skill set, that when it's time for me to move, I could jump and I'm gonna be caught. Not just because I got blind faith, because I got blind skill, motherfucker. I'm good at what I do. I add value to people. I build people. That's what the fuck I do. So any place where people are working with people, I rise to the top. That's what the fuck I do. I've been doing it my whole life. That's what I was put here to do. That's what I do on this podcast. I build people. That's what I do. I add value to, or at least I help people find the value in their existence. Because like I said, when you look at the Giame definition itself, it's absolute, complete, and perfect. Absolute, complete, and perfect. You can't get no more close to perfection than that. Look at yourself and look at how perfect your life is and how everything seemed to line up, even the bad shit. lined up perfectly to put you exactly where you are right now. If you're listening to this show, you are on it. Trust me, you are on your path. Now, start asking those questions that I talked about in the last hour. Why am I here? Why am I here? That ain't no deep philosophical question that you need to go and debate with somebody. That's a question that you need to wrestle with in yourself. That's the wrestling that Jacob did. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get scriptural about it, that's the wrestling. Why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I here? Why do I keep repeating the same dumbass cycle? Why do I keep finding the same type of man? Why? When you ask yourself why, your mind is going to work whether you know it or not and find you the answer. And when you find the answer, your whole life changes. That's the show. This has been Brother Hot Tim. I was joined by the traveler, Brother D, who happened to travel in latest whatever and shit. You know how we do it. And also by Brother Mansour, who have graced us with their presence and their wisdom, and were bold enough to stop me when I started running my mouth and shit. Y'all know, and some of y'all need to text me when I start talking too much, because I get into it and I just can't stop. And I want to challenge you to start your journey. It don't have to be Giami. You know what I'm saying? Find your path, dog. As my elder would say, find your path, dog. Last story. I always say that shit, but when I was in Africa, I still have a good friend. Well, he like a brother. He is a brother. And I was sitting down talking to him, and I know y'all heard this story before, but bear with me, because I got to go, I'm old, and I go through my shit, and I love it. But he asked me, he said, "What's your major?" And I looked at him, I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about? I ain't in college." He said, "No, I ain't talking about major in college. I'm talking about your major in life. What's your major?" And I ask you, what's your major? Are you majoring in minimum wages? What, minimum wageism? Are you majoring in buffoonery? Fuckery? What's your major? Or are you majoring in greatness? Are you majoring in above and beyond? Are you majoring in giving yourself permission? Are you majoring in music? Are you majoring in math? Are you majoring in science? What's your major? When you find it, embrace it and walk with it. The path is not going to be easy. And I can't give you no shortcuts, but I could give you the tools to help you cut through the force that lies before you. You know what I'm saying? At least I can point you at the tools. But I ain't doing no chopping for you. But you got to get out there and chop that shit so that you can learn yourself and change the world, because you are what the world's been waiting for. We waiting for you. Wake the fuck up. We waiting for you. With that, this is Brother Hot Tim. I'm done. And you put your right foot in. You put your right foot out. Put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. This has been Brother Hot Tim, and I ain't gonna be rude. I'm gonna let Mansour say some farewell words. I'm gonna let Brother Devin say some farewell words, and we're gonna wrap this shit up, because y'all know I'm up at 4:30 out doing it. So handle y'all business.
Yeah, I just want to say peace, and shout out to AAPRP, All African People's Revolutionary Party, Columbus chapter, Midwest chapter. Shout out to Wise Nice, Verbal Delegation. Rise up, rise up.
And I just want to say to continue to embrace the change that you see within yourself. Do something different that's going to make a difference. Develop and cultivate those relationships that are going to produce fruit that is going to be beneficial for you and your loved ones. And continue the journey. Peace.
And this is Reverend Colonel Dr. Pit of Hell Johnson. Ahithophel Johnson. And I say, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. See, that's how our leaders talk. Fucking nonsense. We need to start finding our local leaders. Local to global. Nations are built from the family up, not from the nation down. Damn it. Alright. I'm saying peace. You have a beautiful night. And I pray that your evening is as beautiful as you are. Peace.